So when we make offerings to a Buddha, an enlightened being, we gain merit. I'll tell you why. Because of the object you're making offerings to. Then on top of that, if you have the awareness that they're enlightened and on what basis they're enlightened, as we've talked about in the past, and also what the offerings represent and the materials are done and obtained purely, then when you put this combination together, it's explosive. The object is an enlightened being. Your motivation is the best that you can conjure up. The materials come from pure sources. And then you know the meaning and you offer it up to the Buddhas. Is incredible. Is incredible and it's extremely beneficial. And in the way of Buddhas, even when you don't know anything and you just place something onto the altar to the Buddhas, you still get benefit. Why? It's not by the power of the giver. It's not by the power of the item. It's by the power of the object. So when you make offerings to a Buddha knowingly and unknowingly, the merit that arises is from the object you're making offerings to, because the object itself, a Buddha, is free from any type of delusions and illusions and is a perfect object of offering because why? Very simple. They can guide you to their state. They can guide you to the liberated state. Whereas when you make offerings to gods, they are in samsara. I don't care how high they are in samsara still. They still have anger, they still have delusion. So they can bring you to a certain point in samsara, but they can't guide you anymore. And if you make offerings to ghosts and spirits and deities and gods under the earth, nature spirits, all that, fairies and gnomes, they exist. They exist. But when you make offerings to them, you don't gain any merit. Why? Because they don't have the power to give you merits. They're not an object of merit making. 1. 2, most of the time, most of the people around the world who do these kind of rituals and rites and offerings, when they make offerings to them, with no offense intended, it's a waste of their money and their energy and time. Why? You get nothing back except the immediate whatever you ask for. And whatever you ask for, love, love, and stopping magic, and money, you get it. But when you get it, it actually takes away more from you because you're not supposed to get it at this time. And then you have to drain your karma from somewhere else in your life to get it. Does everybody understand that? So when we do magic and when we pray to gods and spirits and we go for temples and meetings and all that stuff, it's bad not because we're bad or they're bad. It's bad because we don't understand where it comes from. That's why I always tell people not to do it. Definitely not to. If you have some adversities or problems and difficulties, I would advise you to solicit the help of the goddess Tara and to make her your meditational deity and to solicit her help, and through time, you will see things happen. You will see your negativities fall away. And on top of that, she not only gives you what you need and helps you to fulfill what you need, she also is a proper object of merit. So when you make offerings to Tara like tormas and candles and lights and silver, say, please help me to get a job. You get a job, but at the same time, you also collect merit because you're making offerings to a Buddha. Then in very adverse situations where you have like magic and you have difficulties and some danger, then wonderful to make offerings to the goddess Simhomukha or Singdongma. Singdongma is excellent, the lion-faced Dakini, who's extremely fierce and dancing on one leg with a lion's face. Why? She immediately cuts off your problems and difficulties. Why? She's an enlightened being manifesting in this manner to help you. And therefore, when you solicit Singdongma, when you solicit her blessed help over a period of time, you will see the obstructions disturbing you stop. At the same time, by making offerings to Singdongma, you collect a great amount of merit because it is an enlightened Dakini, totally enlightened. And then if you find that that's a little too slow for you because your karma is really ripening, then you can engage in from your Lama's permission, you can engage in one of the ferocious deities who are actually difficult to control, but full of compassion, such as one of the Dhammapalas, the Lokapalas. The Dhammapalas, directional protectors are the Lokapalas. Dhammapalas are the Dharma protectors, which you can solicit for help over a period of time, that when you make offerings to them, these are the Dhammapalas. When you make offerings to them over a period of time and you solicit them, definitely you get results. Definitely. Definitely. So at the same time, you collect merit. Simultaneously, you clear your obstacles. And listen to this very carefully. You don't have any owing karma. Because the Tara, Singdoma, and the Dhammapalas do not tap into something that give you something that will tap into something else that will cut you short. There's a big, big difference. Does people understand that?